When I set out to see if Indigo Park could be completed whilst blindfolded, I honestly figured it would be easy. It's been several years since Astral Spiff famously beat Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 whilst blindfolded, and compared to that, Indigo Park seemed like it would be a breeze. Unlike Poppy, there's nothing that requires any real mechanical precision with the mouse, and frankly, most of the game is just walk, talk to Rambley, and then walk somewhere else. How hard could beating it blindfolded be? However, despite Indigo Park's apparent simplicity, the game is full of awkwardly placed items, massive areas with nothing in them that you can easily get lost in, and a long, climactic chase sequence that seemed virtually impossible to complete blindfolded. We did it! My setup was pretty standard for this type of playthrough. I used my keyboard for movement, but then my controller's D-pad to control the camera in normalized increments. Moving a mouse in reliable straight lines is essentially impossible whilst blindfolded, and because the direction keys move you relative to where you're looking, a single mistake with the mouse can easily screw up the rest of your choreographed movement. Thus, I approached each section with the goal of adjusting the camera as little as possible, and ideally not at all. As the game begins, we need to make our way into the office to speak with Rambley, which we can pretty consistently achieve by walking 17 steps forward and 12 steps to the right. Unfortunately, Indigo Park's footstep sounds are really quiet, and furthermore, the game has no audio mixing functionality, so you can't turn down the background ambiance or turn up the dialogue or anything like that. Even worse, the footsteps cycle through a series of random samples, and they don't always play at a perfectly consistent pace, so counting them was somewhat unreliable.
8 or 9 steps. You sometimes skip a step because of the staircase.
Thankfully though, upon entering Rambley's office, we're able to employ the technique that we'll abuse throughout the entire game: normalized movement setups.
That sounded right. All the way to the right. Straight forward till Rambley jump scares us on the right. Keep holding forward till he says how many billions of years it's been since anyone's wanted to him or whatever.
Hi there, and welcome to
Scares me every time.
the world's most innovative and engaging family fun experience. Jump into the world of your favorite character. Wait, you're our first guest in 2000.
Get my controller.
4 hours, 23 minutes. Adventure in the park.
Look down 14 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I wonder if the stream's working. I hope so. As long as the recording's working, I'm okay. That's what matters here. Okay. Hold back and right and mash E. There's tabs. That's Q, that's W. It is a practice run, by the way, of course. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad. Oh. Oh, this is not good. This is already going terribly. Why are you still moving? This room is not that big.
Hi, I'm Rambley.
That was the plan.
From here, we can hold back left to bring ourselves into the corner of the room, back out of the doorway, and then immediately hold back left again until our character reaches this pole.
Go straight until Rambley starts talking. Please start talking, Rambley. When the footsteps stop. Rambley!
What's the holdup? The gate is open.
Walking straight from here will eventually trigger Rambley, and because this whole setup is normalized, we can return to the office and realign ourselves with the door by walking 3 steps back and 10 steps to the right.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We should be aligned with the door roughly. Hopefully we go through. I hear the generator. It's decent. Okay. We want to make a little right, and then straight, and then left. Left, straight, more. There we go. Okay. The first big turn.
Unfortunately, this was where the true blindfolded Indigo Park began. Our goal is to enter the generator room, trigger Rambley's dialogue, turn 90 degrees to the right, get ourselves into this little nook, then grab the gear using a series of incremental camera adjustments. From there, it was just a matter of spamming E and praying that we heard the gear pickup noise.
Now we're just gonna tap right and spam E and pray to God we pick up this freaking gear. Tab, Q, W, E. We're just tapping right, spamming E. Yo!
This is going to be a common theme in this run. After obtaining the gear, we need to turn back around to face the generator, walk up to it, place the gear, and then hit the switch to its right. Fortunately, the generator makes noise, and it's affected by the game's spatial audio system, and in many areas we can exploit this as a sort of compass.
This here is an information kiosk.
In this case, we turn until the audio is roughly centered, and then walk forward.
I think we're close. I think it's right to the right of us. Okay. I'm just gonna slide to the right and mash E. Did not work. Where am I going? This room is not that big. Oh, we are lost. Well, we have the spatial audio of the generator. I'm sure this is very hard to watch if this stream is even working. I don't have no idea. No, I don't know where we are. I think I gotta start over.
Failure.
Got it, okay. Okay, now I think we're in the room. Yeah. We gotta go forward more. Okay, we got it. Hold right and tap tilt and just smash E till we hit the switch.
Unfortunately, the trick we used to get back to the gate last time will no longer work. We've adjusted the camera too much and the setup is far too inconsistent. Instead, we can once again rely on the game's sound design, as activating the generator triggers music from the park's main gate, which we can use as a sound beacon.
Maybe we're walking towards the gate now. Oh,
Okay, for real this time.
I followed the audio.
Indigo Park.
That little song plays from the gate.
Once we get close enough to the gate, Rambley starts to talk and we're able to strafe into the park's entryway. This area sucks. It's full of crap everywhere, and we're no longer facing in a cardinal direction, which means in a lot of situations, the footstep sound effects will continue playing even when we're pressed up against a wall. This makes keeping track of our location ridiculously difficult. Our best bet is to just move quickly, trigger Rambley, and then use his spatial audio to navigate ourselves to the gift shop. Unfortunately, Rambley's dialogue doesn't last very long, and once it ends, we're sort of on our own.
I think there's some in the gift shop. Head in there and I'll get you set up.
Okay, Rambley's voice was coming to my right, which means the gift shop's like roughly this way.
Failure.
Wear a critter cuff. I think there's some in the gift shop. Head in there and I'll get you set up.
I hope we're in the corner and not stuck in Rambley's stall, because then we're fucked. Rambley, yes. Yeah. We're inside. We're inside, okay. I want to not trigger Rambley as long as possible.
The gift shop shouldn't be that hard. All we need to do is walk in, grab the critter cuff, and use it on our way out. It's not that different from what we just did with the gears. Furthermore, the critter cuff itself has collision, so once it appears, it actually stops you in the perfect spot to grab it with a few normalized turns of the camera. However, for some reason, obtaining the critter cuff is completely silent. It makes no noise.
Please.
Without seeing, you have no way of knowing whether or not you successfully grabbed it. Only after walking away and trying to leave will you hear Rambley's dialogue trigger, indicating that you've obtained the cuff.
Uh-oh, the door mysteriously locked. Why not test out your band and save the day?
Apparently we got the critter cuff.
Of course, if you didn't get it, you now have to navigate back to the critter cuff and try again, which you don't have a setup for, so you're basically screwed. The best method I came up with was to spam jump right when you think you ought to have picked the cuff up. The cutscene locks your controls, so if you don't hear the jump sound effect, you're probably okay to try and leave. A series of normalized movements and E-spam gets us out of the gift shop and back out into the main entryway, but this is where things get really tricky. We need to navigate ourselves into this one specific nook, then turn around and hit the button to enter the park. Unfortunately, because of all the turning required up until this point, counting steps just isn't really possible. There was just no good setup for reliably moving from the gift shop to the button. To make things even more painful, we haven't hit a loading zone yet. There's no checkpoint. Getting lost here means starting the entire run over.
Oh, okay. I think we're here. I have no idea where my mouse is, but it should be okay because they're normalized after that button, right? So spin and press E and hope that we hit this fucking thing. hope that we're where we are, and then hope that our cursor is aligned in such a way that we can use the critter cuff to open up this thing. Any second, please. Ugh, if I'm not in the alcove, we're done skis, I think. Yeah, I think we fucked up so badly. I think we're in Rambley's office.
Failure.
Eventually, we settled on a pretty janky solution. We could use the music coming from the park gates to walk ourselves back into the narrow entryway. From there, hugging the right side and holding back will wrap us around this pole and send us straight into the button. Or rather, backwards into the button.
Yeah, I'm just hoping the pole lined us up. It should have. I think, we'll see. Okay.
After slowly turning around and spamming E, we hear the button and can move into the final stretch of the first section.
Kind of just freewheeling us.
Thankfully, you kind of just walk forward and right. Even if you end up smashing your face into the far end, you can kind of just keep walking and jumping and you'll get there eventually.
That was weird. Oh, it looped.
Thankfully, after that disastrous intro, we get a nice break because the entryway to Rambley's Railroad is perhaps the easiest area to complete Blindfolded. Other than at the very start where we use Rambley's audio cue and count a few steps, this section is entirely normalized. You just memorize the layout and hold a single direction until the footsteps stop.
Left.
Furthermore, a lot of the barriers in this area are slightly angled in such a way that they funnel you forward down the queue, even if you're holding left or right.
Keep going until we stop and hit the corner. Okay, hold forward, then left. Keep going until we hit the corner. Now we just head right up to the train, I assume.
At the very end, we do need to turn the camera 90 degrees to the right and look down to activate the pink-ass train, but it's such a big target, it's really easy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should be enough. Okay, tab, Q, W, E. Now we hit right and spam E. Dude, this game is fucking too easy blindfolded.
The train section is mostly effortless. You just sit there.
Welcome to Rambley's Railroad.
I'm barnstorming. Guess how many times I've heard this cutscene? I've heard this entire game so many times. I can see, despite not being able to see, I can see the Goombas.
I heard you, Goomba.
Why the long face and body?
I'm always long because I'm always longing for a new seashell for my collection.
Cause my dick's long.
Finley, you should come out of your shell.
However, eventually the train breaks down and we need to navigate down a winding hallway, grab 2 gears, insert them into a gearbox, and navigate ourselves back to the train. I was pretty sure that this was impossible, but after about an hour and a half, we developed some pretty consistent setups and I could navigate to the gear room basically every time.
All right. Wait for it to fade out. Okay, the audio switched, so we're here. Go back until we can't. Left. Jump. 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 Okay, back. Okay, now we're walking into the room with the gears. Okay. If we go right, they'll get louder. Rambley gets louder. Yep. Back up to the shelf. Do a slide around. Okay.
Unfortunately, collecting these gears would be much more challenging than the one in the intro. This time, there are 2 gears and they're low to the ground, yet the gearbox is high up on a wall. We have to move the camera around a lot to complete this section, which leaves a lot of room for mistakes that inevitably necessitate a reset. Ironically though, our saving grace were the horrible noises that glitching Rambley makes. By pure luck, the room is just far enough away from the train that Rambley is audible from one side of it, but not the other. This once again allows us to use the audio as a sort of beacon to help us figure out where we are.
We need to look down a lot. Okay, we should be at the bottom. Now we gotta go right a little bit. Let's say 20. Now we go forward and we'll stop. Good. Now we go left and forward. Left. Then forward right and spam E. We didn't get around. Got it, okay. Go straight. We're now in the right corner because we're angled, so hitting the wall slid us to the right. Correct, okay. Now we need to look up a little bit. I think 20 or 15. Back, then left. Get out of the corner. Okay, we're at the far wall. We're not where we think we are. Got it. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Unfortunately, my plan for placing the gears into the gearbox completely failed.
We need to look up a lot.
I didn't look up enough to place the gears into the gearbox, and I just kept sliding past it.
Okay, we didn't get it. I think we're not far enough this way based on Rambley's audio. Into the back corner, which makes me think we're just not looking up enough. I don't know why I think that though.
Eventually though, by using Rambley's glitching audio, I was able to figure out what direction I was facing. From there, I held down on the camera until I was confident that I was looking down as far as possible, and then tried my setup again.
And we're gonna go up 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. We go back, we hear Rambley. Good, okay. So we go right and we'll hit the side of the thing. Okay. Now back right knee. So if this doesn't work, I assume we're not looking up enough. And I guess we're looking down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Forward and knee. Bro.
At this point, I was completely lost. Desperate, I did what is perhaps the most dangerous thing in this type of run. I grabbed hold of the mouse. I was confident that as long as I could get those gears in, I'd be able to use the spatial audio to lead me back. Thus, we went full YOLO strats.
Okay. We'll do something dangerous and grab the mouse, because as long as we can get this, I can get my bearings. Okay. Mouse should be down. Up left. Right. Back. Right. Forward. E spam. We should be right in front of it. If I can just get these gears in, it'll make noise and then I can get my bearings. Okay. Okay. Rambley stops. That's okay, though. Because we can use this. Get to the corner. I don't like that we didn't stop. I want to be in front of Molly McCaw right now, but I'm definitely not. Where the fuck are we? Wait, why is it moving to my right? Okay, okay, we were facing the totally wrong direction. I see. Bro. I don't know where we're going this way. Should now be in the corner. Okay, go back. Right. Why are we right? Right forward. Forward right. Forward right. Okay. Oh, thank God. Something's happening. Yes. Back right. Forward left. Back. Okay, back right. Okay, right and hope a door opens, man. Just get to the train. I don't think we're making progress. Back, right. Yes, yes. This is so easy. What?
Hey there, Lloyd.
Do not shame me with that common folk name!
The next section is just more pseudo-normalized movement. As long as you can get yourself down the left stairs, you'll slam into the fountain and you can just hold forward to wrap around it. It's slow, but there's a relatively consistent series of inputs that will get you near the entrance of Jetstream Junction.
Should wrap around the fountain and slam into the cart. Eventually. Hopefully. We should be at the cart now, right forward.
Just like all of the other areas in Indigo Park, all we need to do is walk to the end of the street and talk to Rambley, and thankfully, the information kiosk constantly plays music, which makes it an excellent beacon for figuring out not only our position, but also which direction we're facing.
Forward.
This here's an information kiosk. If there's anything around the park you want to ask me about, just stop by here and I'll ramble on about it.
Keep going till Rambley talks again. Left, forward, Rambley,
Wow,
now.
look at that.
Okay.
You're at Jetstream Junction.
Using the music as our guide, we're able to back out towards the fountain, slide around it, and head up the staircase to the auditorium.
I think we're going up the stairs. Just based on the sound cues. Okay, we should be in the corner of Lloyd's, sort of facing like where you can see the Ferris wheel. So if we hold forward right, we should hit a corner. Okay. Now we need to turn right about 60. Are you kidding?
Navigating the auditorium is not difficult, but it's long.
Auditorium. Straight. Lion will leave. There's the lion leaving. Doesn't really matter. Just good to know where we are. Stop on stage. Left forward.
left, forward, left, forward, left, forward, jump. Hey, buddy, I've got eyes all over the park, but I can't see anything behind the stage.
Okay, he's behind me.
Back there, be careful. Your critter cuff is not yet able to resuscitate you.
He's directly behind me, so... Okay, I think we're... What the fuck was that? This is so scary when you can't see. Hopefully we jumped over the railing.
The backstage area doesn't have any audio cues to serve as beacons, and so completing it just requires a lot of memorization. Thankfully, like the entrance to Rambley's Railroad, many of the walls are angled in such a way that they'll push us forward, reducing the total number of inputs and simplifying the amount of memorization required. Still, it's tough. The only times we can really confirm where we are is when Lloyd jump scares us and when we reach the doorway to the back office.
Back. Okay, lion jump scare soon? Left. Forward. Left. Right. Forward. Jump. Left. Right. I think left. Left until we can't move left anymore. Left, forward. Okay. Forward, right.
Forward, right, forward, right, forward, right, forward, right, forward, left, forward, right, jump.
Trying to get to the end of the room. Hear the door. There it is, okay.
Unfortunately, this back office contained the most difficult to pick up item in the entire game. The activation triggers for pretty much everything in the game are pretty lenient. Buttons, puzzles, you don't have to be that close or look that directly at them in order to use them. This key, though, is different. For some reason, the key is coded so that unless you're looking directly at it, dead center in your screen, you can't pick it up.
Spin and slam.
It requires exponentially more precision to collect than anything else in the game, and it makes no sense.
Dude, what the fuck? Dude, what the fuck is wrong with this key?
Dude, this game is fucking too easy blindfolded.
Please. Dude, I can't go through this again. Gonna turn ourselves a little bit to the left. Forward. To the door. To the door. To the door. Okay, we're finding the door. Okay.
Upon collecting the key, Lloyd starts to growl, and we can sort of use it as a sound beacon, but You pretty much have to hope that you didn't turn that much while collecting the key and that your movement setups will get you back there, but even then, it was a struggle. And while it's much more forgiving than the key, it's not easy, especially at the end of such a difficult segment. Also, at one point I turned my flashlight off and, I couldn't see, so I didn't know. So this footage is not especially exciting to watch. It does, however, give you a slight sense of what I was dealing with.
Right, back, right, back, left. No, it's not right, back.
Okay. Ah, fuck, dude.
Failure.
Once you start turning the camera and looking for the button, you better be confident that you're in the right spot, because if you aren't, you have to reset. You'll never get your bearings again after turning around. Right, back right, spam E. Okay, don't touch anything. Wait. Forward, right, and spam E. Let's do it. Unfortunately, while entering the theater was very simple, leaving was much harder. I had what I thought was a normalized setup to send me straight to the doors, but it didn't work. I ended up sliding into the rows of seats over and over again, and because of the room's sheer size, by the time our footsteps stopped and I realized what had happened, I was far away from my intended position, with no real setup to get back. However, restarting here would mean doing the entire theater again. So, I YOLO'd it. I knew that if I was ever in a circumstance where I could only walk 3 steps to the left or right, I was at the doorway. The aisles were all much longer than that, so it was obvious that I wasn't there, and it was just a matter of holding forward and left, forward, right, forward, and hoping I got there.
Let's go that way.
Dude, we don't have a loading zone. Oh shit. How many steps can we go to the left? Then right. No. But we jumped over something, so like it had to be the first road.
Returning to Jetstream Junction was simple given the information kiosk's spatial audio, and upon exiting the auditorium, we're already lined up perfectly with the lock that we need to activate. However, in my excitement, I had neglected a very simple but absolutely critical step for completing this area.
Okay, just spam E and slide.
We are very short. I have to be perfectly honest. We are very short. This is something I've started paying attention to as a 3D animator. We are rather short. When was the last time you walked up to a kiosk, a stand, and your chin was like touching the table? We are very short.
Which makes the fact that she's like as tall as a trash can kind of ridiculous. Why am I as tall as a trash can? No!
What?
Again, this chick is smaller than the first door of a refrigerator. She's like 3 feet tall. What is this? She's banging her forehead into this bakery counter. She is very small, my dude. Very small. She's the size, she's as tall as a trash can. I mean, come on. Look at this. She can't even reach the lock on this door.
Look at this. You can't even reach the lock on this door.
Can't even reach the lock on this door.
Oh my god. We forgot to look up. Jetstream Junction is another section where we don't need to touch the camera until the very end, which is great. It's just a bunch of normalized movement setups, listening to Rambley talk, and then exiting the area. Again, there's no camera movement, so it's all just right angles and stuff, and as long as you can reach the far wall, hitting the button to enter the landing pad can be done pretty consistently, especially with the noise from the arcade coming from the right.
I don't think we're gonna stop. So I'm just gonna assume that we're at the block and not moving. And go straight. And if I'm correct, this should send us like straight towards the button, basically. I hope. Okay, look up a little bit. No, wait. This is wrong. I don't have the arcade.
Failure.
I think I'm in the right spot. I'm just gonna go. And now we'll eventually hear the arcade on our right and never on our left. Okay. I believe we're at the pillar where the button is behind us to the right. We have to look up a little bit. Back. Right? Okay. Yeah. Wandering around. I think I'm curious. I don't know what happened before, but I'll go back and watch it. It'll be fun. Okay. We're taking a break before this one.
The landing pad is normally a complicated area, but fortunately the solution to the puzzle is the same every time. Thus, we can just slide along the wall, pausing at each block to turn it before sliding to the next one. It's a little tricky because we need to mash E so that the sound cue triggers when we've arrived at the next block, but if you start pressing it too soon after solving a block, you'll trigger that one again and it'll screw you up. Thankfully, you can reload and start this section over as many times as you need to, which resets both the blocks and your camera, so it's just a matter of grinding it out. We do need to turn 90 degrees to the right before we can hit the blocks, but only roughly. It doesn't actually need to be that precise. The blocks are really big, and I tended to undershoot the turn a bit, which didn't seem to cause any problems. One thing to note is that even though the green block is already set to the correct shape, we still turn it 4 times because it's easier than trying to skip it.
4. Dude, I can like barely hear them. Last one. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Yep, okay.
Unfortunately, on the successful attempt, we were just barely misaligned in such a way that our setup for leaving the room no longer worked, and it was a bit of a struggle.
This is wrong. Okay. I think it's getting quieter. No, it's not.
Finally, we had reached Indigo Park's climax, the chase sequence with Opila Bird.
This section, dude, holy.
To be honest, I assumed this would be easy. Spiff had completed the Huggy Wuggy vent chase blindfolded long before he completed the rest of the game, and I assumed that Opila would be no different. However, I could not have been more wrong. There are several things that make completing this segment blindfolded basically impossible. Our strategy of slamming ourselves into walls and walking until our footsteps stop does not work. Opila moves way too fast. If you lose more than a few seconds, she will catch you. Furthermore, because the game has no mixer for its discrete audio channels, the background music is insanely loud and we can't adjust it. This makes counting our footsteps or listening for the trampoline sound effects absurdly difficult. I actually messed with the EQ on my system so that I could hear them better. And make no mistake, we have to listen for those sound effects, which means using a metronome for consistent timing is also basically impossible. We would use a combination of footsteps, trampoline sounds, Opila's voice lines, and the background music to time our button presses. This is just as hard as it sounds. As mentioned before, the footsteps aren't super consistent, so counting the same number each time can still yield slightly different results. Individually, this variability isn't enough to get you killed, but collectively these offsets add up and the bird inevitably catches up to you and kills you in the final stretch of the chase. Furthermore, at the start of every attempt, we have to make yet another 90-degree turn in order to activate the button, and even with normalized mouse movement, the angle wasn't super consistent, and if the angle was too far off from the 90 degrees I'd practiced on, the attempt would be doomed before it even began. Our movement setups just would not work. After hitting the switch, we can slide into the hallway until we're confident that we're at the left wall, then move forward and right until we hear the doors opening. From there, we need to sprint backwards and hold right, and it's here that we can exploit one of the game's design choices, which is that you run at the same speed in all 8 directions, including backwards. Holding back right will send us into the green tube, and this is where things get tough. We need to use Opila's voice line as our cue to stop holding back right and just start holding back, but the actual line she says can vary. Between that and the angle inconsistencies created by the 90-degree turn at the start of the section, we died here. A lot.
We did it! We fucking did it!
Welcome to the Rambley's Wranglers registered room. Here we have plenty of amenities and... Okay. I can see in your facial tract...
I am never doing that again. That was horrible. It is random.
Tragically, I had encountered a bug that I wasn't familiar with. You're supposed to run into the office, at which point the door slams closed and beheads Opila, but apparently you can just juke the bird. In hindsight, the spatial audio should have been a clue. Both the bird's death and Rambley's final monologue were coming from behind me, which shouldn't have been possible considering the direction I was facing. However, I was so relieved that the noise wasn't the game over jump scare, I didn't notice, and only once I went to finish the game did it become clear that something wasn't right.
We're not doing this in a RTA. We're not doing this single segment. If it wasn't for this segment, then RTA, like single segment, blindfolded, Indigo Park, I'd do it. I'd spend 12, 24 hours, however long it took. I get it. Like, you do it. Because everything up until this point is literally just walk, wait till Rambley talks, walk. Like, you can look at the control, my list of like instructions that I was making as I was planning this route. It's just like hold right till you hit a wall, hold forward till you hit a wall, hold right till you hit a wall. That's like 90%, or like hold forward and just keep going and you'll slide to where you need to go. That like Lloyd's auditorium backstage, like, oh my God, okay. Okay, now we just go backwards. So we're in the room, Rambley's to our right, we just go backwards. Must be at the wall. Huh? So he must be in the back right corner of Rambley's room. Now in the back left corner. So if we hold back, right, and then back. Right? Back. Huh? Okay. We run down the hallway backwards. The door chops her head off. We haven't touched the camera. We heard Rambley on the right just now. So we know we're facing, we know which direction we're facing. So means that like, yeah, it's like there's a big hallway that I can just back down. What? Okay. Left corner. Right corner. Left corner. Next corner. Okay, we must be sliding along the wall because this room is really small. There shouldn't be that many. There aren't that many. You can't take that many. Oh, fuck. Dude, no. The game doesn't save until you hit the loading zone. You just... Okay, I have to hit this loading zone. I can't. What is going on? It's just like the door that opens when Rambley's speech finishes never opened. It's like it glitched. Yeah, I think the door just never opened. And we're just stuck in the room with Opila's head and the TV that Rambley was on to our right.
This was a soft lock. And even worse, Indigo Park only gives you a checkpoint on area transitions, and we hadn't hit one. We would need to do the chase all over.
Okay, what the fuck happened? Attempt aborted, obviously.
Failure.
However, in a stroke of luck, Indigo Park being a janky mess would be our salvation. Throughout this segment, there are several sections where Opila isn't actually chasing you. As far as I could tell, this wasn't exploitable. You couldn't get her to despawn or anything like that. However, the background music doesn't loop. Upon reaching one of these sections, if we just sit there and wait, the background music will eventually end. We still need to complete the section, and it's still really hard, but being able to hear what's going on makes it 1,000 times easier. You know how at the end of some Mr. Beast videos, the contestant just like fails the challenge and doesn't win the money and the video just ends?